Most people run from discomfort. I'm learning to sit in it. Peace and love, family. My name is Leon Wheeler Jr., and this is Master Making Emotion, where I'm learning how to master myself, and I'm teaching it while learning. Today, we're going to talk about discomfort. How, again, I'm learning to sit in it without escaping. When I think about discomfort, my mind venture backwards eons ago, figuratively speaking, when I was a young tot, hanging out with my fellow comrades, my crew from the old neighborhood. We would go to the show downtown at a young age. This is in the 70s. I believe 75, but I know the film came out in 73. And the film I'm talking about is The Exorcist. I recall going downtown with my comrades, and we would ask someone to get us in the show. This was our regular routine. Every weekend, we would go downtown, catch the bus, the 4th Street bus, and venture the shows. Well, we were separated this particular time because it was I guess, a blockbuster movie in high demand. So the show was full to capacity. They split us up. Well, we couldn't sit next to each other because the show was filled. So we ended up separating, sitting wherever we could. And I found myself alone, sitting next to strangers, people I didn't know. And The Exorcist it was a horror film about a young girl being possessed by the devil. I was probably 10 to 12 years old, froze in my tracks. Didn't want to continue watching the movie, but the show was so dark. I was really afraid to get up to walk down the aisles to escape. So I watched in terror. I came home, still terrified. The movie got to me. Badass kid I was, terrified from a horror flick. Really, the only flick that ever scared me. So maybe a week later, my parents decided to go to the show, the drive-in, to see the show. I avoided the whole show that day, purposely, laying on my sister and her girlfriend's lap in the back seat. Made sure I didn't watch it. And that night, some nights I would hear the commercial advertising The Exorcist, and it was, man, it was much for me. And at that time, I would have to sit with myself and have to think about the possession of the devil in this young girl. And people used to always kind of get at me because, like I said, I was a bad kid. So they would say, those bad kids is who the devil get into. So I was a little terrified. Fast forward, maybe 20 years later, I found myself on my way to prison in quarantine. The first night was strange as it was something else. The lights went off for the night, and the goons and goblins, the ghosts, came out. Never seen it, never heard anything like it. It was strange as I don't know what. So many different sounds coming out of the mouths of human beings and men. I mean, I heard like woofs and dogs and cats. It was weird. I mean, it was like the ghosts and the goblins came out. It was really something to take in. And there was nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. I had to sit and take in those creepy sounds for hours. And I was trapped in a small cell. trapped in my mind to venture, to think, and my mind was racing. That's one of the things about I've learned lately that when you can't control, you can't stop your mind from thinking, but you can somewhat control what you think, and it takes practice. It takes some diligence and due diligence. You have to be sincere. You have to work at it, or you can just, some people don't go through that. But some of us, time to go to sleep, our mind goes to venturing, and that's a hard time to sleep. You can't even sleep. A lot of times you can't. That happened to me quite often. But I pretty much got a better control on it. But anyway, that was the first time. Those were the first times I really recognized being trapped and in my mind without escape. I was a free comrade, somewhat free. There was a whole lot of things that you can use to, I guess, create noise because that's silence when you trapped like that. That's a time of silence when there's no escape. But in the free world, you can use drugs, you can smoke weed, you can play loud music, you can do there's a lot of things that you can do to distract yourself. But certain situations, there's no escape. Sometimes there's no escape. And today, though, I somewhat embrace those times. Well, not somewhat. I look forward to that because now I realize that in those moments, a lot of times there's wisdom to gain. So I embrace sitting in my shit, so to speak, sitting in my, you know, dealing with the things on my mind, not running, not finding nowhere to escape. Because again, there's wisdom there. There's lessons to be learned. There's things that can come out of that will benefit you a hundredfold. So I do that. I take time. I meditate. I contemplate. I sit there and I venture out. Uh, and sometimes it's uncomfortable, but again, I guess this I heard it once said something to this effect that the cure is sometimes found in the poison. They give us those shots, flu shots, and we had the COVID shots, and a lot of times what they'll do is they'll put a little bit of the virus, so to speak, inside of you, so your body can become conscious of it, and it'll learn how to fight off that invader. So that's what I mean when I say sometimes the cure is in the poison, and that's what it is when I sit there these days. I sit and I contemplate and I go through. Uh, I question myself. What should I do? Why am I feeling this way? You know, and those are ways of actually developing strength. It's what the masters do. The masters don't run from, they don't avoid discomfortable situations because whatever you avoid eventually will continuously perpetuate itself. So you don't get rid of it, you just prolong it and it comes back. But sitting in it, sitting in whatever that discomfort may be, you can find cures. You can find awareness, strength, emotional strength, calmness, awareness. That's what to be found. So today I don't run from uh, those uncomfortable situations. I embrace them. I sometimes look for them because I remember a time I couldn't escape them. Now I don't want to escape them. I want to embrace them because again, I'm striving to become a master. And masters don't run, they stay, they conquer. And that's what I'm doing, striving to become the best human being that I can be. And I can't do that in running. So I have to sit in my stuff and deal with it. This is master making in motion. This is me becoming a master in me. And if you are on a similar path, I suggest to you to don't run. Stop trying to avoid the inevitable. Excuse me, the inevitable. Stop trying to run. Because what you really need is more than likely in that which you are trying to avoid. So again, stop running. Walk with me, talk with me, join me. Peace and love, family. B.